normal.
Dang, your neck ain't supposed to. I need a reset. Of course, I put my damn computer.
What?
Somebody yelling at somebody. Motherfuckers is nosy, bro. I be realizing I'm nosy as shit.
Oh, when some shit's popping off outside, I'm like, God, I'm gonna sit on the porch.
I used to always give my mom a hard time about being nosy. And the older I get, the more nosier I am.
Oh, for sure.
You go ahead and before I fuck around. Bang, 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 bang. All right. Well, I had the fucking MacBook speakers on again. It's just gonna be a common routine when I go in there
Bang,
and I fix that shit up.
That's
Good morning,
Dylan.
Dylan.
That's how we mic check.
Yeah. Bang, bang, bang. 300. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Morning Brew podcast. Up here at Connect Co-works. Where'd you get the sticker at?
It's reserved for only the
exclusive members only.
It's in the drawer.
The exclusive member club only.
You had to get nosy and dig through some stuff.
Yeah, see, you're nosy too.
Oh yeah.
The best of us are the nosy ones. That's how you find knowledge.
That's how you grow. The more you know, the more you grow.
But good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Let us know where you're at. If you're at work, if you're at home enjoying this, well, I was going to say beautiful. It's supposed to be beautiful for the most part, but it's also supposed to be raining. We did want to do an outside episode today on the back patio. And of course, when I woke up, I looked at the forecast, and right at 10 a.m. it was supposed to rain, and it did. So
yeah.
And Sarita has to be in Indiana today.
Yep, Westfield.
What time did you say you got to get on the road for that?
4 p.m.
4 p.m.
But I have about like 150 things I got to do between now and then.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wanted to talk to you about, so Dez got selected as one of the top prospects in the 2026?
2029.
2029, okay.
Yep.
So how do they go about deciding and saying he's one of the top prospects? Is that in like the country or the state?
The state.
Okay. And so what is going on with that? What happens with that?
So there's a showcase.
Mm-hmm.
I think the showcase was in February.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to this showcase and then you perform like different kind
of like a combine.
It is kind of like a combine.
Yeah.
So you do like hitting, fielding. If you're pitching, you measured on how well you do. Yeah. And I didn't go with Des. Bryson went, but I mean, it was like he said it was like shoulder to shoulder. Like there were so many kids there.
Yeah.
So he did that, and it was the first time that he had done. I mean, he's been to tryouts for different teams, but it was the first time that he had any experience doing that. So he was kind of like unsure. And then he got the notice 2 days ago that he was selected. So he's pretty pumped.
So you go to that combine. Do they send scouts like throughout the year to your regular games to like?
So in our world right now, there's like there's different like tiers of play.
Mm-hmm.
If there are any baseball people watching this and I'm using the wrong words, feel free to chime in the comments. But like there's AA, AAA, majors. So Dez's team this year, they're a tournament only team. They play in the major, so like the toughest tournaments in the state.
Mm-hmm.
So we're playing against top competition every weekend. We're starting to see the same teams over and over.
Gotcha.
So anyway, PG or PBR, they come to those tournaments, watch the games they'll, usually they got some guy recording. So you'll get Twitter alerts if your kid's been featured or whatever. And from there, there's probably connections in there.
Yeah.
People they know, coaches, whatever.
Colleges and stuff like that.
But like prep baseball is like a highly trusted gateway for kids to get the exposure that they need to play at the next level.
Yeah. So have you talked to Dez? Because I know he's also really good at basketball and football. Have you talked to him if it came down to it and he was getting scholarship offers for multiple sports, what sport he would want to do the most?
If you ask Dez, he'll play every sport in college, like every sport.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably football, baseball. I know for sure it's football, baseball, basketball. Basketball is something that, he can kind of get away with because he's just that natural athleticism. You can kind of get away with it to hang, and his friends are doing it. So he enjoys doing it, something he's always done. But football and baseball are definitely his top two.
That's sweet. For those of you just tuning in, good morning, Chewy. For those of you just tuning in, Sarita's son, Dez, got selected as one of the top prospects in the state for baseball in 2029. Which is a big accomplishment. You said he was excited about it.
Oh, yeah. He's pumped. And he should be. I mean, it's huge, for kids to perform. And I told Des, like, this comes with a lot of responsibility now.
Oh, yeah.
Because once someone says, hey, you're a top prospect in the graduating class of 29, there's a certain level of play that they expect from you now. So,
oh, yeah.
Yay, let's celebrate. Also, you need to make sure you can maintain that.
You got to live up to the expectations.
Yep.
And not just the outside world, but your younger siblings that look up to you also.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they see that you're presented with that opportunity. Now you got to take advantage of it and maximize it to your fullest potential.
Yeah.
So how did your morning go?
It was all right.
Yeah.
I mean, busy. Every morning is busy, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I set my alarm. I was late, too. So when you text me and told me you were late, I was like, all right.
When I got here and you weren't here, I was like, oh, shoot. He said we were doing it somewhere else or something. I was for sure I messed it up. So.
Yeah, no, like I set my alarm for 8 a.m. And I set my alarm for 8 a.m. and 8:05 a.m. And when
you're one of those.
When I'm half asleep sometimes, like I'll roll over and I'll turn it off and I won't have any recollection of it.
You're one of those people.
So I rolled over, I turned both alarms off, rolled back over, and I woke up and it was 9:05. I was like, shit, the podcast is at 10. And of course I go in and I'm getting all my stuff ready. I'm like, I only got one mic cable. So I got to go to Shaq's and get the other mic cable. There's just doing podcasts at multiple different places and having to just make sure all the equipment is with you whenever you go somewhere else. It's
kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Kind of annoying.
Yeah. So I know you told me the other day that you had a situation where you kind of took too many tasks under your belt.
Doing it all.
Yeah. And almost had an accident. So if you want to go into depth on that.
Let me just preface this by saying that this is just I'm going to turn this into a marketing opportunity.
Okay.
I will literally pee my pants just to get the job done for a client.
That's dedication.
So I know my moms can relate to me on this. After you have kids, like you literally like just have to go to the bathroom all the time.
Yeah.
You have to pee all the time and no, you cannot hold it. So I'm with you guys. Just know that. But I had like a million things to do. I had both my kids in the car. It was like a 3:45 p.m. appointment. I had one last appointment for the day before I could go home and like retire for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to pee. But I was like, I'm not going to go to a gas station. Like, I really don't like doing none of that. Yeah. So I'm just going to hurry up, go get this done. And then I'm going to leave and go home and go pee. Well, I got there, pulled in, and I just I knew I don't know if I'm going to make it. And where I was at, there was no like plumbing or electricity. So I couldn't use the bathroom there either. So
you was just like in a zone trying to get shit done to the point where it was like, I'm not even worried about using the bathroom right now.
Like, no, I had an investor client. He's have an investor client, super motivated. Like he wanted pictures of this the inside of this unit. Like I had to do it.
Yeah. And that could be a missed opportunity if you take that time to go do.
Oh yeah. When you got somebody's hungry, you got to feed them.
Yeah.
So I went in there he's an out of town investor, so I'm like recording in a video so he can kind of see like the layout, the conditions of this property.
Yeah.
And as I'm recording, like I couldn't hold it anymore.
Yeah.
I just pissed my pants.
God damn. What do you even do in that situation?
There's nothing you can do. Like your body just fails you. Like I've had 4 kids. Like my body is like, you're not the boss. I'm the boss.
Well, I mean, what did you do? Because now you done pissed yourself. So
I continued on with the recording. Like, what am I gonna do? I mean, he didn't know, he wasn't with me, but
okay, so he wasn't actually with you. But then, no. I mean, like, you drove home afterwards.
Pissy.
That's
actually, I had to. So that was on like the inside. Like I had to come out, lock it up, go around like the exterior.
Bro, and then you had to sit in the car.
Yeah, I'm standing on East Center Street.
Bro, did you put a bag down or something to sit on?
I had like a long like one of those like flannel long jackets on.
Bro.
So I had to sit on it. Yeah. Like I have leather seats. Just sit on your jacket, wipe it down, like go on about. Dude, you got to get. I'm like on East Center Street. Like, so this is the exterior vinyl siding. Yeah. Like, I really think I'm like taking pictures of the neighborhood so you can kind of see what, the mixed use in the area. And the whole time, like my pants are just pissed. Like
a big ass kid.
Dude, I told my son, I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't help you like get out of the car, right? Just give me a second. I beat my pants. Like,
shame.
He was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, you're like an adult. Like, what do you do?" I'm like, you're never gonna understand the struggle as like a woman.
Yeah.
Like you're never gonna get it. So anyway, I will literally soil my pants before I soil your real estate plans.
That's crazy. Hey, that's a hell of a motto.
I should put that on a business.
Put that on the Coldwell Banker website. Man, I'll soil my pants before I soil your deal. If she's
not willing to pee her pants, she's not the agent for you, man.
I'll soil my pants before I soil your deal.
Yeah, I can't believe I just admitted that somewhere where it's like never going to go away.
Hey, that's vulnerability.
Man, you got to practice vulnerability.
Well, I mean, now on the bright side of it, if somebody sees you with a piss stain on your pants, now it's just like, oh yeah, she does.
Yeah, she does that.
She does that. It's normal now. You're known as that person now.
You've never peed your pants? I mean, like as an adult.
No, I haven't.
You've never had to go so bad you couldn't hold it.
No, well, with guys, I mean, it's a lot easier to just do it and just piss anywhere. I can stop anywhere and piss on the tree somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
So like the only times I've come close to actually pissing my pants was in the car or on a highway, but then it's like, well, I'll just pull over on the side of the road, open the door, and get behind the door and piss right here on the fucking side. And if a cop wants to pull up and say something, it's like, bro, what do you want me to do?
So like you're willing to, you're not willing to pee your pants.
No.
So what if he's like, I'm going to cite you for indecent exposure?
Well, I'm going to have to go see my day in court. I'm going to have to go talk to the judge. Because I mean, in certain situations, like you have to understand, like there are certain bodily functions that we can't control sometimes.
Yeah. That's true.
And it's like, I feel like if I go in front of any judge and I'm like, look, man, we were on the highway. I had to go really bad. I couldn't hold it no more. Like
there was no rest stop.
Yeah. I think anybody can relate to that. Now, in your situation where you just chose to piss your pants to get
no. Let me tell you, it's not like, I mean, like I really thought I had time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that shit just kept on building up and building up.
It was like,
and you was probably slamming macchiatos and all that shit, trying to.
I do drink like a lot throughout the day. You need to keep your fluid intake up.
Yeah, that's true. As long as you can go when you need to go, that's fine.
Just if you've pissed your pants in the comment, I mean, can you just have my back right now?
She's
if
reaching.
You've ever pissed your pants, just
she's reaching.
Say I in the comment.
She doesn't want to feel special. She's reaching.
Nobody commented.
Nobody's gonna comment on
Damn.
It. No, ain't nobody gonna get on here and relate to that, man.
Whatever.
Ain't nobody. People ain't just out here regularly pissing their pants. Now,
I feel like that's normal.
Not as an adult. No, I feel like I can hold it for a pretty long time.
Really?
I've never just been in a situation where it just let go. Like, hey, we're here.
I feel like.
Then again, like you said, you had kids. I mean, it might be different for women that have had kids, and I don't know. I couldn't tell you the anatomy of it.
Whatever. All right.
I just know I haven't done.
Whatever. We're moving on because Trey's trying to act like
moving around
like I'm weird or something.
No, I have no problem telling people like if I do some foul shit like that. Like, hey, it is what it is. Shit happens. We're all human, but I ain't never pissed my pants. Piss is just one of them things. It's just like
it's pretty gross.
Stanky ass shit.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. But
like, and that's one of the main things that's one of my biggest pet peeves is people who own cats and they always be smelling like piss. It's like, why is it that you motherfuckers haven't figured out a way to not smell like piss and own cats at the same time?
I'm not sure what that is. Like, that's been that's
I know
very
exactly
like
what that is.
Smell.
I know exactly what that is. Cats don't give a fuck. They'll piss anywhere.
I mean, dogs are like that too, though.
I feel like if a dog's trained right, then you ain't got to worry about that nearly as much as cats. Because sometimes cats, it don't matter how trained they are. Sometimes they just feel like they want to piss somewhere. They're gonna do it.
I mean, I guess
they don't play by the rules.
I have one experience with with cats, and I'll never have another cat.
And they just claw random shit. Like they'll tear random shit up with their claws.
That's exactly what happened. My couch, my curtains.
Yeah. I feel like dogs, like once you get them to a certain point, like you ain't got to worry about certain shit no more. Cats, bro, they be unpredictable as fuck. Like little lions running around your house.
I know that's kind of like why they're cool though.
But. Yeah. If you get the right ones,
like that.
The Maine Coons, is that what they're called?
Those are sweet, and the ones that like have those spots,
like leopard.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, I don't know what those are called,
but those are kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Moving along. We got away from the piss topic.
Okay. Anyway.
The first 15 minutes of the podcast was about piss.
Whatever.
Top 3 favorite fruits.
Go.
This is tough because I've been trying to expand my horizons when it comes to fruit. I just tried passion fruit the other day. Have you ever had passion fruit?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get on here and hype it up just because it was.
Somebody said it tastes like pulled pork. Not passion fruit. Pork. Jackfruit. I was thinking jackfruit. Like vegans will like use it as a pulled pork alternative. Anyway, passion fruit. Go ahead.
They said the fruit tastes like pulled pork. What the fuck?
Anyway, go ahead. Passion fruit.
No, passion fruit. It was okay. It wasn't nothing special. I'm not gonna hype it up because it's an exotic fruit and a lot of people probably haven't tried it. I got it because I got a passion fruit alcoholic beverage and I put the passion fruit in there with that. But it was okay. But my top 3 favorite fruits is probably number 1, pineapples.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah, pineapples, because pineapples, man. And then number 2, orange. See, this is a real passionate topic for me because I love fruit. Number 2 is probably oranges. And it's got to be a good batch of oranges too.
What kind of oranges? Like mandarin oranges,
navel oranges.
Okay.
Which is probably like the bioengineered shit, but but the sweet ass ones, like if you get a good orange that's real sweet, oh my god, nothing hits like a good orange.
Wait, but how do you peel it? Do you leave the white stuff on the outside?
I'll leave some of it, but I don't leave. I get most of it though.
Yeah, doesn't bother me either.
It becomes a whole art form to get that shit off the right way. Because if you do it right, you can just peel it all off at the same time. But pineapple, oranges, and then I don't know, it's gonna be a toss up between grapes and apples. Well, Honeycrisp apples are fire though.
Yeah.
Honeycrisp apples are that thing. But I'm probably forgetting about one also.
Strawberries?
No. See, I like strawberries, but very, very rare is it that the strawberries that I get are as sweet as I want them to be. I feel like a lot of times they're sour, and I don't like sour strawberries at all. That can ruin that shit for me real quick.
Yeah.
So
I feel like if you're buying them this time of year, though, for sure, like you're gonna get the sweeter strawberries.
Yeah.
If you buy them in the off season, like the winter time, they're gonna be sour.
Yeah, Aldi's be having some big ass strawberries out there. I'm like, this can't be natural.
Did my Thursday run? It's good.
Mangoes and jackfruit.
Jackfruit, really?
Rambutan.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that is. That's exotic as fuck. I tried that. I tried that dragon fruit though, just because it looks so crazy.
Yeah.
You know how crazy a dragon fruit looks?
Yeah.
And I ain't really like it.
I mean, I feel like that's how I am about coconut. Like I love coconut water.
Yeah.
But to eat like a coconut, like cut off a tree. Yeah. No.
I'll eat some Samoa cookies with a coconut. Some Samoa.
Okay.
So your top 3 favorite fruit?
Blackberries is number 1.
In the chat, top 3 favorite fruit. Ooh, I forgot about blackberries. Blackberries are fire.
Number 1.
But you know what ruined
I'll
it?
eat like a whole pack of them.
You know what ruined it about berries for me though?
What?
With the blackberries and raspberries, they have like them little cracks and crevices in them.
Yeah.
A couple times I found bugs in bitches.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. You don't like soak your fruit before you eat them? Mm-hmm. In what?
Water? What the fuck? What you supposed to soak it in?
Okay.
You ain't soaking your fruit in chemicals, are you?
Vinegar, water, and baking soda. That's what I use.
Oh no, that's too much, man. That's too much.
It's not too much.
Then I feel like you're fucking up the flavor.
Not at all. Not at all.
I seen a video the other day. They had this family that was cleaning their chicken in bleach.
Dumb. Very dumb.
Yeah, there's some dumb shit going on. There's some dumb shit going on. But like vinegar and baking soda, I can see because I mean, with like the kombucha and stuff like that, like it's just vinegar and fucking fruit mixed anyway. But
vinegar is supposed to be like a natural, and it does. This is true.
Yeah.
Removes like mold, bacteria, fungus, stuff like that.
Or you just get the organic fruit and just wash it off in water because then they're not using. If I eat a bug here and there, I'm not real pressed about it.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
If I eat a bug here and there, if I eat a bug here and there, I'm not pressed about it. That's wild. That is wild, Trey.
You ain't even gonna notice because there's so many microorganisms on the fucking fruit anyway. You ain't even seeing. So it's like, but that just ruined it with me. But I do love fucking blackberries though.
Dude, I'll eat a blackberry like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
A nice plump, sweet blackberry too.
The ones at Aldi right now are really full and really sweet.
Oh yeah, the bitches are fire.
All right, so blackberries, mangoes, and strawberries for me, for sure.
Yeah. If it's a good strawberry, then yeah. You know, because I love straw because there's a lot of stuff where like I love the actual fruit.
Yeah.
But I don't like shit that is flavored like that fruit.
Oh, like watermelon?
Yeah.
I love watermelon. I hate anything watermelon flavored.
I love bananas. I don't like anything flavored banana.
Bananas, yeah.
So rambutan is an exotic fruit native to the Philippines. So did you try that fruit when you were out there at the Philippines with your wife? Because his wife is from the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
So when you were out there in the Philippines with your wife, did you try that fruit out there? Or was it not when you were out there? Because I'm curious to know if we have that around here.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like some of the fruits, when you get it from in our case, you only have Kroger, Walmart.
Yeah.
You know, there's only a few stores. Like
right. 100% what? 100% what? Like, did you try it out of the
100%?
100%. Did you try it when you were out of the Philippines or what? I wish we had a market that just had like exotic fruits, like different kinds of fruits that you probably never had before. But then again, when you get into shit like that, I start getting worried about, well, what if I'm allergic to this shit?
Oh yeah.
And I've just never had a reaction because I've never had it.
Bryson's allergic to a lot of fruits. The pollen, that's what it is. The pollen in the fruit. Like if we were to
Okay, he tried it here in Columbus.
If we were to like saute, so when you heat up fruit, you remove the pollen. And then that's what gives you that allergic reaction. Damn. But nobody's going to heat up.
By the time he eats the fruit, it ain't even fruit no more because you done washed it in vinegar and baking soda. And then you threw it on a frying pan just so you can eat it.
Like he can't do bananas. He can't do mango. He can't do pineapple. He can't do coconut. There's so many, like the pollen screws him up. Yeah, it's wild.
Poor Bryson. Because I always said the worst thing in the world would be to develop an allergy for something that you enjoyed throughout your whole life and you developed an allergy for it. Like seafood. Like I fucking love seafood.
I love seafood.
So, and I've heard stories of people eating seafood their whole life and getting to like 50 years old and developing an allergy to seafood.
Probably will never happen to me.
I hope not. I would be so sad. Like I would rather just be allergic to it my whole life.
Yeah, I mean, because then you don't. Yeah. First of all, you don't have the fear of like, is this going to be the time?
Yeah.
And I don't want to like eat something, love it, and then I can't have it.
Right.
Anymore.
That's just
because if I couldn't eat shrimp for the rest of my life, I'd be really upset about that.
Yeah, that's a fucking tease.
I love shrimp. All right.
I do too, and I love crab. Hey, we got kind of caught up on that fruit shit. Well, let's get to talk about food
so
character test.
Character test.
Yes.
You're going first. All right. So if you walked out of work and you saw someone getting mugged, what would you do?
Me being the good guy that I am, I'm going and helping them. You know, I'm going to put my hands on whoever it is.
Really?
Well, I mean, first of all, you got to walk up and you got to get information on what's going on.
Which I feel like there's not time to do that. That's a split decision.
They might have lost their life.
You have to decide like what is actually happening. You don't go up to somebody like, are you really robbing her right now? And they're like, yeah. And then you're like, all right.
Well, look at it like this, because you were just saying like robbing her. If you got off work and a guy was getting mugged, by two other guys,
right?
It could have been because that guy that they're mugging just stole something and ran away from him.
Could be.
And they caught up to him, and now it looks like they're jumping him, but really they're just getting their shit back.
Right. Could be.
So you kind of got to go up into the situation and be like, and you probably ain't going to be able to figure out. You probably just got to make a decision.
So you're watching for a minute.
Well, I'm going to go up and be like, what's going on?
Really? So you're just going to walk into a high intense situation where somebody might have a gun, a knife, whatever, and be like, hey guys, so what's going on?
Well, I mean, are you gonna take the risk of running up in there and helping the thief?
I ain't doing shit. I'm not doing nothing.
Okay, so your turn. What are you doing? You walk out of work, somebody's getting mugged. What do you do?
I'm watching.
You one of them motherfuckers with the camera phone out watching.
I'm probably not gonna record because I feel like the minute you start recording somebody doing bad stuff, then you become the target.
You ain't gonna scream or call the cops or nothing. You just watching.
I mean, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna observe for a minute and just make sure I have a comfortable understanding. And by comfortable, I just mean like understanding enough.
Yeah.
That gives me enough information to make the decision that I'm gonna make.
So
I'm probably gonna call 911. I ain't getting involved.
You ain't getting physical though.
No.
You a lover, not a fighter?
I mean,
I think we established this.
That's true, but also like I'm not willing to risk my life because two idiots are fighting over like somebody stole my catalytic converter last night.
Right. Well, look, okay, so we'll go back to if it was a female. Say it was a female and her child, and she was getting fucking they were like getting dragged into an alley by two guys.
Man, that's tough. I would have to do something. I'd definitely call before I did something.
That's one of those like, okay,
especially when there's kids. You know, I am about the kids being involved.
That's one of them things where it's like, I might not go to heaven if I don't do nothing about this one.
I might not go to heaven. I might not make it out of here.
Yeah. See, if it's a guy, it's like, okay, they're probably not trying to rape him.
You got it.
He can at least defend himself a little bit.
You got it.
But if
you got it. What am I gonna do?
You got it. You got it. Figure it out, brother.
He probably did something. He probably deserved that shit.
Yeah. Sunrise Asian. Hey, Dylan plugging us in. Sunrise Asian Market on Henderson Road has a bunch of exotic fruit that you will not find in normal stores. So if you guys want to find exotic fruit that you can't find in most places, Sunrise Asian Market on Henderson Road, Columbus, Ohio. Go check them out.
All right.
If you want to be a sponsor of the show, reach out.
Right. We need to get that.
If it's a female, definitely would help. Yeah, I feel like if you're a man, then you're kind of obligated to go help a woman.
Yeah, I think you guys have like some natural like savior complex where you got to like go in and
got to prove
be
ourselves.
The knight and this is my moment.
Got to prove ourselves.
Be the knight in shining armor.
Yeah, if it was a guy like you said, I'm probably gonna be like, you got it.
Yeah, he's all right.
You probably did something to deserve that shit.
I feel like it, and I'll stop.
No, go ahead.
No.
That's when it gets the juiciest right there. You stop when it gets the juiciest.
Because I feel like it also depends on like we all have like this bias, right? That's just like it's there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to suss out like what does it look like they're fighting over?
Yeah.
Because if it's like some like drugs or like something like that, I don't care.
So it looks like two crackheads.
I really don't care.
Yeah.
Like, not saying that I don't care about them, but like I don't care to risk my life to get involved in that situation.
No.
But if it involved like kids or like something like that, then yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like if it was one of them situations that you're hearing a lot about now where like they're setting up those traps at stores, and throwing women into the back of cars and driving off real fast,
right?
Then it's like, okay, it's kind of your fucking obligation as a
Right, 100%.
person.
I'm going to get the license plate number. I'm going to call before I go over there and try to intervene. Might throw a shopping cart through the windshield or something like that.
Something. I got to do something.
You're going to have to do something.
What if it looks like some drug dealers fucking beating up a crackhead because he stole some drugs or something like that?
I'm probably not going to get involved.
Y'all are in your own world.
Man.
So I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Sounds like a tough day.
All right.
So if you could have only one song to listen to for the rest of your life, what would that song be?
I don't know why this song keeps on being the first song that pops into my head, but I think it would be "Your Body" by Pretty Ricky.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Like when I came up with that question, that was the first song that popped into my head, and I was like, maybe I should change it, to go with something that fits my personality more. And I was like, well, why would I change it?
That doesn't fit your personality?
No, I mean, I like it. It's just kind of like I don't know.
I would not have expected that.
Yeah, I do love that song, but it was like, no, this song came to me for a reason, so I'm going to stick with it. So yeah, "Your Body" by Pretty Ricky.
I don't even know what it would be. They still have good songs that I would listen to like on a normal day, but that era was just, anytime somebody was like, what do you want to hear? Anything by Pretty Ricky. Like that was the answer.
That late night special was crazy.
Like Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, they had some shit. And when they was in their prime coming out with all that shit, motherfuckers was so, well, maybe not you, because you were a little older than me.
Little.
But motherfuckers was so young, they didn't even know what the fuck they was talking about half the time. It just sounded good.
There's so many songs where I'm like, I was singing this.
Yeah,
like
playing that shit around your parents.
Milkshake. Yeah. What is that girl? What is her name? My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Fuck, I can't think of her name.
Dude, I was singing that?
Yeah.
What?
Well, motherfuckers thought she was talking about a real milkshake.
My neck. What? We were singing that?
That milkshake song, motherfuckers just thought she made a good milkshake. Because
there have been so many times where my kids are singing a song and I'm like, do you know what you're saying? And they're like, no. And I'm like, you shouldn't say that.
Yeah. Like Pretty Ricky had that Love Like Honey, Playhouse. Like they was talking about some shit motherfuckers didn't even know, but it sounded good, didn't it?
No clue.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. I don't know what my song will be. We'll have to come back to that.
You don't know what your song will be? First song that pops into your head. The reason why I went with that one, because it was the first one that popped into my head. So like you get in the car and you got a library of any song in the fucking world that you want to play. What's the first one you're going to?
I feel like the first song that comes into my mind right now is just because it's real trendy. Lose Control by Teddy Swims.
I've never heard it. I don't even know who the fuck that is. Teddy Swims? Is that what his name is? Teddy Swims?
Yeah.
I've never heard of him. Huh. Maybe is he a newer artist?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm not.
Maybe he's been around a while.
Is he like a singer?
Yeah.
It's like a singer. Yeah. You seem like one of them people that would listen to some singing shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listen to rap music, but I like older rap music. Right. I don't like newer rap music.
Well, I thought you would like more of that thuggish, ruggish type rap music because you like them. You like them shows and shit that make you feel
like. Lil Wayne was like big. We had every Lil Wayne CD. We were making CDs at that time.
Right.
Yeah. That was big. Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, like those were big.
Fucking up the computer with LimeWire.
Oh shit. Man. Like that was, Juvenile. That was big. Like
music was hitting different back then. It had to be because motherfuckers was literally sacrificing their whole computer just to make one fire ass CD.
100%.
Man.
100%.
Hey, I had some shit though.
But I love Britney Spears too, so I'm eclectic that way.
I ain't gonna lie, man. There was a time when a motherfucker used to listen to NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. They was
98 Degrees. They was
popping. And then you could go get the Now CDs.
Yeah.
And they would have all that shit on there.
Do you remember shopping in like Radio Shack? You didn't do that. Are you too young for that?
This was good times. No.
Okay.
They used to have Radio Shack out of South Mall.
Yes. Like shopping for CDs.
Yeah.
Or you just buy singles if you didn't have like
well, I used to go in there because they would have like some cool ass like remote control cars and shit. I'm a guy, so that's just what I did.
Right.
Dylan said Subdivisions by Rush. Great memory for me. First concert with my dad.
I have no idea who that is or what that is.
I don't either. You know, my first concert. What was your first concert?
I don't remember what exactly it was called, but it was like a blend of artists in Columbus at the. Somebody chime in. It's outside, like the stage is outside, and then there's like a grassy, slopey area, and the stage is right here. Anyway, that's my best.
You don't remember the artist?
98 Degrees was there. Okay. It was like a Nickelodeon. NSYNC was there. Oh, okay. I think. I'm pretty sure. And then there were like some other artists that weren't as popular at the time.
Okay. Dylan said it's an old rock and roll band. My first concert was Lil Bow Wow and B2K. Remember B2K?
Yeah.
I got the tickets as a birthday gift from my aunt. And fucking Lil Bow Wow. This is when he was young. His ass walked all the way through the crowd with a mask on, and nobody noticed it was him, and went all the way up to the stage
with his long little braids.
Yeah, but he had some kind of like Halloween mask on or something, so nobody even like fucking knew. Went all the way up to the stage and started performing. That shit was lit though.
In Columbus? Where?
I think it was at the Schottenstein Center.
Okay.
Not 100% sure.
I'm not a concert goer girl though.
Oh no,
like that's not my thing.
I've only been to 2 concerts. It was that one, and then it was Drake's Take Care concert, which is kind of weird with the beef with him and Kendrick Lamar now, because at that concert, the 2 people that was opening up for Drake was A$AP Rocky and Kendrick Lamar. So Kendrick Lamar at that time, nobody really knew who the fuck he was, because you got to think Drake was relatively new. His Take Care album.
Was that the first? Take Care is his first album or no?
I think So Far Gone was his first.
So Far Gone. Okay.
And then the Take Care album was relatively new. So Kendrick Lamar and A$AP Rocky, nobody.
I can see the cover in my, like I can see the cover.
Yeah. Nobody knew who the fuck. Yeah, it's kind of like that gold thing.
Yeah.
So wanted to ask you, okay. What is your most effective strategy for growth and marketing?
Wing it. No,
wing it. Piss your pants.
Just piss your pants and put it on a business card.
Yeah. Use it as the motto for your business.
Honestly, like, and I'm since getting into real estate, I'm fairly newer to having to do like your own marketing. To me, like, consistency is the number one thing. Like, I don't even care if I have 5 likes or 50 likes, because that's one thing for me. Like, I never know what's gonna hit. What, like, I have had shit that I've posted that has gone viral, and it's nothing. Like, it's really not anything special. But then there was like stuff that I've sat here and like tried to really get in deep with that like gets like 20 likes.
Yeah.
So I don't really have an effective strategy for that. Just being consistent. Just keep showing up.
I mean, based on your experience, what things have you utilized that have worked most for you when it comes to reaching people and getting them to actually move forward in the house buying process? Has it been like social media? Has it been reels?
Oh no, yeah. Definitely social media for sure. And reels always gets whenever I do, like I'll do Facebook for me.
Yeah.
Like picture posts and captions, typically those do well.
Okay.
But on Instagram, and I'm no professional, like there might be some more educational answer for this that I don't know yet. So
everything works different for everybody.
So. But on Instagram, Reels works really, really well. Like I help manage the baseball team's social media page, the gym's social media page, and then my social media page.
Yeah.
And the Reels on Instagram, like the analytics are crazy on that. Like you'll reach like 3,000 accounts. 98% on a reel are non-followers.
I wish they would let us live stream to Instagram.
That would be cool.
But they don't. Like you have to do, I mean, they do, but you have to do all these fucking steps to even go live. And then once you go live, once it goes over an hour, they automatically cut it off.
Yeah. A lot of times we go over.
Yeah. And I don't want to get into a good conversation
and then just be cut off.
And then be cut off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Instagram Reels. And I love TikTok as a consumer, but I haven't quite gotten comfortable with as a creator on TikTok. So I really can't speak to that. But as a consumer, I love TikTok.
Yeah, I should probably be more involved on TikTok. And I mean, I did intend on doing that with the podcast stuff, making more reels, putting them on TikTok, stuff like that. But it's just like, man, I just can't get into it. I can't. But I know it's something that I need to do, though.
And I like using Facebook, when Facebook bought Instagram, and now it's all like Meta or whatever.
That's why I thought, like, if you could live stream to Facebook, then it should automatically live stream to Instagram. I feel like, but
I haven't made that.
I wish they would do that.
That would be cool.
They need to do that. They need to start, because podcasts are so relevant now. They need to start making things more podcast friendly. So it's like, if you're streaming your podcast, it should be able to stream to everywhere that you have followers.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
I mean, everything else is connected between the two platforms. So.
Right. Yeah.
And
like, I wish on Facebook, I think me and you talked about it. Like, if somebody is watching your podcast on Facebook, they should be able to hit a button on Facebook that subscribes them to the YouTube channel.
That would be,
without having to go over there.
Without question, that would be amazing.
So when you post stuff on, as far as like reels on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you're promoting your stuff, do you do paid promotions, or like does your company pay for the?
No. If I do a paid ad, I have to pay for that myself.
Okay.
Which, I mean, whatever. You just set your budget and whatever. But a lot of my stuff is organic. I don't do paid ads that much.
Yeah.
But I did see this one thing that I do believe in, is that people paying to go viral it shouldn't be looked at as like a bad thing. Like, if you're trying to grow your audience, what's so wrong with paying to go viral?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. The only thing that I have a problem with when it comes to that is, a lot of times when you pay to go viral, you're paying for subscribers or followers, and a lot of times you don't know if it's actually real people.
Right.
Because a lot of times those companies that you're paying to get those subscribers or followers, they're just sending these bots to your account.
But let's say you get paid, let's say you have a paid sponsorship or like an ad,
right,
where your commission is made based on viewerships, then who cares?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. If you're monetizing what you're doing based on the views or the plays or whatever it is, then I don't give a fuck if it's a real person or not. But if I do want to actually grow our audience, like as far as this podcast, then I want to be interacting with real actual people and watching real actual people, because that's who's going to go tell their friends about you.
But also, you can look at it that way, and you can look at it as your whatever it is that you're promoting. The more engagement on that, the more it's pushed for people to see. Like, oh, this is really popular. Let's keep putting this on their timeline or their newsfeed or whatever.
Yeah.
So like,
there's a lot of ways to look at it. Like, because just like I do, like, people will follow a trend. Like
100%.
There's the one saying, like, people won't start supporting you until it's popular to support you.
Yeah.
So even if it is a fucking mirage that you're getting all these views and all these likes, it might not be real, but at the same time, it's making these people think it's the trendy thing to do. Unless they see through it and they're like, oh, it's bullshit. They paid for clicks.
I mean, so what? I don't know. I don't feel like that about it. Like, organic content, that's, it has its job.
Yeah.
Paid promotion, there's a job for that too.
Like I said, if I can pay to get followers, subscribers, whatever it is, I don't really care if it's bots or not, if I'm able to monetize how many views and stuff that I'm getting, because it's working the same way. But at some point, I do want that actual, because like we have the people on here in the chat and stuff like that.
Right.
I do want that actual connection with the people who watch.
Yeah, I love that part.
Fan base. Yeah. But like you said, though, just to blow it up, like if you're just trying to promote and blow it up, then I don't see a problem.
Especially if you're like a newer thing.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. How do you feel about men painting their fingernails?
What?
What do you mean? What? Ask Bryson about
this. Was this on the list?
I think I added it. Well, because I seen Drake hugging Birdman behind stage, and he had his fingernails painted, and I was like, why are so many motherfuckers doing this now? But because Caleb Williams, who was quarterback for USC.
Yeah.
He was painting his fingernails.
Okay.
Okay, so how do you feel about men painting their fingernails?
I feel like this is loaded. This is a
This is a
loaded
very
question.
simple question. This is a very simple question. If you feel like it's loaded, then you
I'm not
probably have a
into it.
loaded answer.
I'm not into it.
Okay.
If like, I don't know that they're I'm not into it.
Yeah.
Are you into it? You want to paint your fingernails?
Hell no. No. Well, see, look, some things you just got to let women have. Because not only are they doing that now, but I've seen some NBA players wearing high heels now.
I'm not into that.
And it's like, what are we doing? There is setting a new trend or having a different fashion style, but you are just blatantly taking things away from women that they do. You know what I mean? Now listen, I'm all for hygiene. Like if you want to go get your nails, like the cuticles done, get your nails clipped,
get a pedicure,
filed,
take
all
care
that
of your
shit,
feet, whatever.
Get a clear coat even. I'm cool with that. When you start painting your nails different colors and shit like that, you're going too far with it. You're going too far.
I mean, I'd have to agree with you. I think that's my opinion. However, what other people do is what other people do. I'm not into it.
Well, that's the thing. We can sit here and say what other people do is what other people do. Ain't got nothing to do with me, whatever. But at the same time, we do have a podcast. So I feel like it's our obligation to talk about things that are going on like that. Would you let Des paint his fingernails?
I was just gonna say it would be incredibly difficult for me to be like, listen, buddy, it's a no for me.
Yeah.
And what you want to do after you move out and whatever, that's totally on you.
Right.
But I just no. And I remember one time Des was little, and I was like painting my fingernails, and he was like, "Well, I want to paint my fingernails."
Yeah.
He was really little, like 3, and I think Bryson was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And at the time I was like, I don't see a problem with it, but
it's kind of like you're almost conditioning them to think that is an okay thing to do. And like you said, like if you get to a certain age where you're able to make your own decisions and that's something that you decide to do, whatever, or even in a situation where like you have a daughter. You know what I mean? If the daughter wants to paint their dad's fingernails, it's not a fucking big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're just that they're bonding with their dad. You know what I mean? It's not like their dad actually wants his fingernails painted. He's doing it for his daughter.
Right.
But when you're a grown man and you make that conscious decision to like, okay, I'm going to put this colored fingernail polish on my fingernails like a woman, then I think we're kind of getting lost a little bit. And
I feel like that's like for young kids, like I don't think Des would ever ask me as a teenager. But that would have to come with like a conversation. Like I would definitely be like, here's why I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
And also here's what might happen if you do that. Are you prepared for people to question your sexuality?
Yeah.
Are you prepared to have that mindset? Because it's one thing to say, I don't care what other people think.
Yeah.
We all do. To varying degrees, we all do. Are you prepared for people to make assumptions about you based on that and to just not care about it? I don't think my kids are ready for that.
Yeah, because a lot of times people might make assumptions about you and you might not even ever hear about it.
Correct.
They might make a decision about you and you might not even know that they made a decision about you.
It happens all the time. It's natural.
Yeah. So it's like, it's just, we were talking about the trends and stuff like that. Like, that question is going to come up more having sons when you're seeing these college football stars painting their fingernails, these famous rappers painting their fingernails. A lot of times that's who they see and that's who they want to be like. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you have to have that. I feel like you kind of have to have that conversation. Like, look, man, like they are, because I feel like at this point, people who are rich and famous like that, they're just reaching so hard to be different.
And they want to be talked about.
Yeah.
Like they that's part of their job is to, that's how you maintain celebrity status. People have to care about you and they have to want to talk about you.
Yeah. Stir up headlines, create news, stay relevant any way possible. And I kind of feel like they just get to a point where it's like, I'm rich and famous. Like I'll do whatever the fuck I want. And I don't care what people think about me because I'm paid at the end of the day.
Literally.
But at the same time, it's like me and you were talking about before, I kind of feel like that's selling your soul a little bit. Because it's like, we know We know, but okay.
Ooh, I'm asking you this first.
Okay.
What do you think your biggest challenges are what do you think your biggest challenges are that couples face these days? All right, so are we talking about you? Or are we talking about couples?
Well, I was going to say, what do you? I thought I typed on here. What do you think the biggest challenges are that couples face these days? But we can take it upon our own relationships. I think.
Do you have consent to do that this morning?
Oh, I don't need consent.
Oh, okay.
But no, we just like a general, just in like a general broad view of it. I think that probably, and this might be like a super simple answer, because I mean it just doesn't take a lot of thought to know this. It's probably social media.
Yeah.
It's probably just that constant like looking at social media and seeing things and taking it the wrong way and thinking like, I don't know, like especially with like running a business, um, running a podcast, trying to get viewers, doing weddings, trying to get clients, like you have to be friendly with people, you have to interact with people. That's how you build your base.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I think that um being friendly with too many people on social media can, depending on the person, it can be taken the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It can get looked at as flirting, when it's just like, this is like what you have to do if you're going to be in this field. Like, so I don't know. I just feel like that's one of the main things. And like, it's always like the likes, you know what I'm saying? You like somebody's picture, you like somebody's post or something like that. And just having and not my situation, situation specifically, but I know a lot of different relationships where it's like just that constant temptation and having those literally hundreds of options right in front of your face, the ease of access to so many people. Because you got to think back in the day, like 70s, 80s, you know what I mean? If you were married to somebody, it was very hard to get in contact with somebody else if you wanted to go be unfaithful. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now it's just like
there's a lot more effort.
Yeah. Now it's just like the ease of access. Like you can literally DM anybody that you know.
Anybody.
In this area. You know what I mean? So I think that's one of the biggest challenges that couples face these days.
That's an interesting perspective. You
don't think it's social media?
No.
What do you think the biggest challenges that couples face these days are?
Just not being on the same page about things. Just, I mean, two people living individually parallel to each other.
Yeah.
Rather than like as one. When you agree to be in a relationship, whether you're married, not married, whatever, you're saying we're going to become one.
Yeah.
So
do you think people get married too early without actually seeing if they're really compatible with that person?
I think that happens a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Especially when you get married young. Like you don't really know who you are or what you want. And
that's what makes that Love is Blind so interesting.
When you're 20, who you are and what you want is going to be totally different.
Oh yeah.
Than who you are and what you want at 40.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But you've already made permanent decisions likely with this person, like having kids, moving, whatever, investing, financial decisions in your 20s and 30s that you'll have to live with.
So how old were you and Bryson when you got married?
I was 25.
25. Okay, yeah. So, and how old was he? Is he older than you or younger than you?
Yeah, he was 29.
Okay,
30.
so I feel like men to get married, because I feel like, and we talked about this on the way to the car after the last episode, I feel like women are more ready to get married at an early age than men are, because men, I feel like, have more maturing to do. I feel like they find more of who they want to be and who they need to be in their, and I'm not saying for all men, I'm not going to speak for all men, but I think the majority of men, like, they need to be ready to leave that lifestyle of just, partying, clubs, all that stuff behind, and actually be ready to settle down. I think it takes longer for most men than it does women.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because I think the culture as far as women naturally, and then you do have the women that are just like, hey, I'm going to go out and I'm going to mess with as many men as possible. But I think most women are sold on the idea of love ever since they're a little kid. Because you watch the cartoons and they see the princesses and they get married to Prince Charming, and you know what I'm saying? It's just, I think women love the idea of being in love with somebody and having that happily ever after. And I think men do eventually, but I think it just takes men longer to get to that point, because men at a young age, I think they want to go out and enjoy themselves and have fun and exhaust their options. You know.
I don't disagree. I mean, I do think that's circumstantial though too.
Yeah.
Because like, if I didn't already have a kid at a young age, I don't think I would have been as motivated
to get married.
Mm-hmm.
So because I know a big portion of your family is Latino. Did they put a lot of pressure on you to get married because you were pregnant?
No.
Okay, because I know there are a lot of families, especially religious ones, and I know Latino families are super religious. I know like religious families, like if their daughter or their son has a kid with someone, like they'll put a lot of pressure on them, like, okay, you need to marry this person now. Like that's how it's supposed to go.
Maybe if we would have had like a really healthy relationship and that was like a supportive type of thing, but like that wasn't at all. Mm-hmm. And so my parents, that was not their advice.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I mean, I think to your point of like, I would have waited. Mm-hmm. I know I would have, and I don't regret my decision, but I do think that like there are circumstances that change your way of thinking about commitment.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Dylan said I'm kind of the opposite. I wish I could have met my soulmate young. The goal with me was finding a soulmate who also enjoyed going out and having fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting.
Yeah, and I mean it's circumstantial. Like everybody's different. But I also know how men are. Men are animals, you know. And I'm not gonna say animals like
men are animals.
Men are not as mature at an early age as women are. I feel like women mature a lot faster than men do. Mm-hmm. So that's just how I came up with that conclusion, you know. So
do you feel like when you guys have kids, I mean, what do you think about this whole like high school sweetheart thing? Because I tell my kids like that's not a thing we're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I think that was more realistic. Like I was saying back before, back in the 70s, 80s, maybe even 90s, it was more realistic back then to have that high school sweetheart that you go on with for the rest of your life. And I mean, I can't even really say that because I do know some people that are still with their high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
So, but I think it was just as a whole, it was more realistic back then than it is now. Just because of that temptation, there being so many options that it just throws a whole nother factor into it. Mm-hmm. But I think now you got to have that talk with your kids. Like, look, man, like not saying it can't happen, but the chances of this actually going forever and you guys getting married, settling down, having a family, like you got to be realistic about it.
There's so many things you would have to get through. Like
I know it sounds good. And I know you guys got that. You guys are in that honeymoon phase and it feels like the best thing ever.
Yeah. Nah.
But you guys are going to be tested.
We don't even call girls in my house. They're distractions.
Yeah.
And then when Charlie gets old enough, boys will be distractions.
Well, that's the thing with young men. I feel like you just got to have that talk with them. Like, I just don't feel like any parent who has a daughter, I feel like that they have to have that conversation with their daughter. Like, look, he is not ready.
No,
he is not ready to be committed to you for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? He is not ready to be committed to you for the rest of your life and for you guys to get married and be together forever. Like he doesn't even know who he is, right? He's painting his fingernails. You know what I mean? He don't even know who he is right now.
He's still painting his fingernails.
So, I mean, and I'm just sitting here looking at my computer screen trying to figure out what's on it. And I don't know because I had my computer and everything in the case this morning and I was in such a hurry. I grabbed it and I went to take off out the door and everything flew out onto the floor, including the laptop. So,
what?
But yeah, that's just kind of how the day was going this morning. So, but
Sorry about
It's
that.
all good. Yeah. My younger sister and her husband were high school sweethearts and are married and 2 kids. Is not for everyone. It's tough. I mean, like I said, it does happen. I do know a few people that like they were high school sweethearts in high school, but I also do know that there are a lot of situations where like they were high school sweethearts in high school. They broke up, went their separate ways,
and then came
did
back.
their thing, came back, and then got married. So
my parents got together in high school, and they're still together. But no, it's not for everybody. I mean, stuff.
There's a lot of outside factors and forces that are involved now that people just didn't have to deal with back then.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes me wish like I grew up in the 70s and 80s because it was just so much simpler and there wasn't all the extra shit that you have to deal with now. Because you gotta think like the shit that we've dealt with, the shit that our kids have had to our kids, I don't even have kids. The shit that your kids have had to deal with already and that are going to have to deal with when they get older. Like this is shit that nobody has ever had to deal with.
It's uncharted territory for sure.
Like as far as the whole COVID thing.
Oh.
And like just
now all of our kids are dumb because COVID.
The mass shootings
for 2 years.
The mass shootings, all the stuff that's going on in the world. It's like everybody and they wonder why everybody's got this anxiety and depression. And it's because every time you turn around, some fucked up shit's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have motherfuckers literally having to stay in the house quarantined because of this goddamn virus. And then you got kids afraid to go to school because they might get shot.
Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's just a wild time. But I think like every generation probably feels like that. Like if you were an adult in the 80s, like living through the crack epidemic and, you know, like maybe that was traumatizing and that's not something, you know, I don't know. I feel like every generation feels like they had this thing as they were growing up that was uncharted and did maybe cause some trauma having to live through it or whatever.
Yeah. And I was watching, I can't remember what year it was, but they were showing old footage of when they used to do the draft for the military.
I can't imagine living through
that. My, it was they had a board just like that one. And they were randomly calling out birthdays and posting them on the board. And if your birthday was on the board, you were going to war, bro. Like,
yeah, I can't even imagine that.
I would cry, bro. I would cry.
Leg would have been broke real quick.
Man, I was just watching. And even though it was back then, I was watching the video and I was just waiting for my birthday to pop up. I was like,
damn, that would have been me.
Man, I was like, would I have had to go to war or not? Luckily, my birthday didn't pop up though. I'd have been safe.
Man.
But also, I'm the last male in my family with my last name. So if I die without having kids, then my last name dies with me. So they couldn't have drafted.
Really? So that and that's something too. Like obviously living through that time or just kind of researching what the rules were. There are obviously some people who would have been exempt regardless of, you know, whatever. But there were rules.
Hey,
so just don't have any kids if you don't want to be drafted.
If I knew I was the last male in my family and the last name died with me and that was the only thing saving me from the draft, I'm not having sex again. Never.
I'm abstinent.
I'm not risking it. I'm not going over there. That was different back then, bro. Like I'm not going. It ain't like getting in the military now. You can be a reserve and still get the benefits and not actually have to go to war. Like if you got drafted, your ass was fighting.
Yeah,
bro. You over there.
See ya.
You're over there in the mix. Man, that shit's crazy. That shit was just crazy watching that back then. So me and you have never really talked about it, but I get on here on Thursdays and I talk with her about Martin. Where would you say you're at with your faith in God?
100% faith in God.
Okay. I don't hear you talking about it a whole lot, but that obviously doesn't mean that you don't believe in God or like you don't.
No, I talk to God
have a relationship
day
with God, but I know we haven't got to that topic.
Yeah,
okay.
I talk to God every day. I don't have a home church.
Yeah.
Used to go to church. Don't have a home church. My relationship with God is we talk every day.
Mm-hmm.
I pray whether I'm happy, whether I'm sad, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the majority of your family is from Puerto Rico, am I saying?
Grandparents are from Puerto Rico, and my parents were born and raised in the States.
Okay. So do they go to church on a regular basis or
no?
Okay. So who do you think really introduced you to the idea of God?
100%. Well, so my grandpa was a pastor.
Okay.
But he planted here for church. we still lived in New York.
Right.
We didn't come back here until he was real sick and dying of cancer. So I can't be like, there's no, my grandfather was a pastor. But I would say like after that, we moved here, grandpa died. I met my best friend, Jackie, and her family was like church every Sunday. If you're spending the night, understand you're going to church and we're going to go, we're going to do Bible study. We're going to do choir practice. And they really, I've always been an extension of their family. Like they weren't getting rid of me. And so that's really where.
So you started going to church with them
every weekend. So
did your mom like into it, or
did she go with us?
Well, like did she ever talk about God, or did she did she talk to you about it?
Oh yeah. Okay. Like my mom, like she went to different churches in town. And she always had like different like spiritual journals and things like that. She's very open. She is a believer, like 100%. But I know that like just because I was with the Twines every weekend, that was my journey as far as religion.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even realize it until you just said that, because my situation was kind of similar to that with you going with your friend, which initially got you started. Like I was good friends with Alex Bailey.
Okay.
And his stepfather, obviously, Sean Jackson, was the pastor out at Mays Temple.
Yep.
I started going out there with him whether he would stay the night with me or I would stay the night with him.
Yep. You had to go. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it wasn't no. It wasn't no. And a lot of times they wouldn't even let him stay with me.
Yep. It was not an option. It was not an option.
So I had to stay over there. And then it's like first thing in the morning, you get them church families are different, bro. Them church families
it's like a routine.
Man.
Like you wake up to the music, everybody's getting their showers, everybody's ironing. Like,
and it don't seem like they wake up and they kind of like, it don't seem like they get out of bed and they're kind of like waking up and just moving their way into it. It's like they wake up and they're downstairs clapping. They're like, come on,
and we were at church all day growing up, like all day, stomach touching your back. Hungry.
See, he didn't tell me that the first time he went.
No,
the first time we went, he didn't tell me that. Man, we got in there at 9:00, and I don't think we got out of there until like 3.
All day, like
all day.
Me and Presh would be like finding crackers that was supposed to be for communion. Like, my favorite part, like not my favorite part, but I loved when it was like the Sundays that you eat because the food was so good.
Yeah. See, like he didn't tell me it. I was like afterwards, I was like, bro, you didn't think it was necessary to tell me I was going to be in there for 6 hours?
Literally.
Like I ain't had no other plans these days. And he was back in the sound booth. He controlled the sound for the church and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like you could sleep back there if you were still tired. Shit like, I was out there center floor. So
wait, like, he didn't let you go back there with him?
No,
dude, that's your friend.
Only certain people could be back there.
Whack.
Only certain people could be back there. So I'm out there on center floor, and this is probably what ruined my first church experience, because I love Mays Temple, so don't get me wrong. I love how they fucking
this is probably what ruined
how enthusiastic they are about shit and everything like that. Because that's just my style of church. Like I like when they're passionate about preaching and shit. I don't like the motherfuckers that's up there monotone and it's like, no, come on, I ain't feeling
right.
My first experience there, like I was there and I'm watching the service and I'm feeling something fucking stabbing me in my leg, and this little kid is up under because you know how they have
under the pew.
She was up under the fucking whatever it is, the benches that they have.
Church
she was
pews.
Up under the bench with a mechanical pencil stabbing me in my leg. Yeah, and I'm trying not to like get pissed off and cuss this little ass kid out.
You gotta turn around, like get your kid.
Because I am in the house of God. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not trying to. But at the same time, I'm just looking at her like, I will kick the shit out you right now. But yeah, man, it just fucked up my whole first experience of that and everything. But now like, I get Martin on here on Thursdays, and I'll go out to Victory Rock and Guy, and it's hard for me to get out there though because it's on Sundays, and Sundays are the most busiest days at Aldi's, so I don't get Aldi's off a lot on Sundays. But
I mean, yeah, like it's a whole thing. And I would love when the visiting churches came.
Yeah.
Because they would like come from Columbus. They brought their big choirs, like it was rocking in there. Yeah. I loved it. But attending church that's not a part of my life at this moment. We're usually somewhere for some business.
And I've always said I don't think you need to attend a church to be close to God. I don't think that's necessary at all. Now, if you enjoy going to a church and interacting with people and hearing other people's testimonies and listening to certain pastors preach, I think you can get a lot out of that too. Like, cause I like hearing the perspectives of other people's, I like hearing the perspectives of other people about the scripture, because maybe they're breaking it down and they're seeing it in a different light than I seen it before. Because I think a lot of the scripture in the Bible, you can interpret it in different ways based on what's going on in your life, and everybody's dealing with different things.
Yes.
So, do you ever talk to your kids about it?
All the time. Yeah, we talk about God. Des, like, he has the Bible app on his phone, so I'll like randomly, I'll be like, what are you in here? I'll just hear sound. Like, I'm not really paying enough attention to know what it is. And so I'll go in there and he'll be like, oh, I'm listening to my Bible app. It's reading like the book of whatever.
Oh, that's gotta be a good feeling as a mom.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, my kid, he's a kid. He's going to do dumb stuff.
Yeah.
But I think those building block, those characteristic things, I'm starting to see that I think you're going to be okay.
The fact that he has his own self-interest in that.
Yeah.
Without you being around to.
No, I don't have to make him do it.
Yeah, that's all. And I mean, I've talked to Martin about it. I'm seeing a lot more. I'm seeing a lot more athletes, because you do have the athletes that are doing shit like painting their fingernails and shit that you probably don't want your kids to do. But you do have a lot more athletes now that I feel like that are using their platform to.
They're really open about God and their relationship with God.
Yeah, shed light on their relationship with God. And I think that is a lot of what these kids need to be seeing.
Yeah. And it's not like their job, right? Like, it's not their job to be good role models for kids.
Yeah, right.
However, when they are, we appreciate that as parents, because they have so much of an influence, especially athletes and celebrities, because it's flashing in front of them all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and like those big athletes like that, they're still relatively young. And I feel like if you want to start your own family one day and have kids of your own, then you want them to grow up in the best world possible. And if you want to make the world the best place possible, then I think you want to set a good example for these younger generations that are going to be growing up with your kids.
They're going to be growing up with your kids.
So that your kids don't have to grow up with a bunch of heathens.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So why wouldn't you want to be a good role model and push people towards that? Because I've said a million fucking times, and I feel like a broken record now, even if you don't believe in God, the fundamentals that are broke down in that book telling you how you should live your life is a good way to live your life.
The principles, and yes, I agree. Don't kill people.
Yeah.
Got it. Don't have to worry about that.
Makes sense.
We've been on for an hour and 12.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta get out of here.
You gotta go?
I gotta go.
Okay. All right, guys. So we're gonna Sarita has to go to Indiana, so I'm sure that any minute
I gotta go to a showing first.
Yeah, okay. So any minute that she can spare, we're gonna go ahead and give that to her. So appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode of the Morning Brew Podcast. Shout out to Connect Coworks for allowing us to come up here and do the podcast. Always enjoy coming up here and doing it. If you haven't yet, go over to the Charged Up Podcast and the Morning Brew Podcast YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you have tuned in today and you have watched and are still watching, make sure you hit the like button.
Like it.
Make sure share it, comment, all that stuff. Tell your friends about it. It doesn't take a lot, and I don't want to seem like I'm pushing this onto you guys.
Oh, we're pushing it onto you.
But if you watch this podcast and you enjoy this podcast,
support us.
Yeah, just share it, man. Just share it and don't be greedy with it. You know what I mean? Share it to other people, because people that you know and you hang out with will probably enjoy it too if you guys are similar and you enjoy it. So
don't gatekeep, y'all.
Yeah.
Hype us up.
Yeah. Don't stockpile the podcast. But appreciate you guys for tuning in, man, and we will see you next time.